Back at the Baja 1000, Jerry Garrett along with Spencer Lowe, and we are watching Parnelli Jones, the 1963 Indy 500 winner, run along the seacoast area near Puerto Citas. Very beautiful and scenic area, and Parnelli Jones is just tearing it up through here. He doesn't want to win the race in his class, he wants to win it overall. David Ashley now coming into a pit area at a place on the course called Coco's Corner. It's not really a place, it's just a corner in the road, but it's the only physical feature on this stretch of road for hundreds of miles. It's like a routine pit stop here for David. It's not unusual to see David Ashley hop out of his truck at a pit stop and work on the vehicle himself. He likes to think of himself as the crew chief on here, and he actually sets up the vehicles for both himself and his teammate Dan Smith, and he does a fine job, and he knows exactly what these vehicles need and what they're doing at all times in this race. You can see on this 360 pan around here, there's absolutely nothing around here for miles and miles. In fact, it took the pit crews a day themselves just to get to this location. Incredibly desolate and deserted out here. Brings new meaning to the word remote. Looks like Ashley is out of the truck. The vehicle is being picked apart by the crew. Oh, here's a problem. Ivan Stewart has dropped out of the race. The word is that they broke the motor, and there is one disappointed guy. He had really focused on winning this race, but his son, Brian Stewart, up in the top 5 overall and doing a great job. Here now is Kurt Ledoux. He is broken down apparently. Looks like they've changed the tire, but they've gotten back in the vehicle and are about ready to take off and go, and they need to get on it right away because they're in a tight battle with John Swift, and both are in the top 10 overall. Another vehicle that's in the top 10 overall, this is Steve Serapis and Dave Richardson, and they are leading Class 10 for limited engine buggies. A problem now for Corky McMillan, who we saw on our leaderboard earlier. He was in the top 5 overall. They've got a flat tire, obviously, but it looks like they have more problems than just that. Walker Evans has also worked his way into the top 10 overall. He's had a lot of power steering problems, thrown some belts off, but the vehicle seems to be running well again, and he and his teammate Brian Stewart are both in the top 10. Good job for that team. This now is the buggy of Ron Brandt, and he is running through kind of a special area on this course. This is known to the racers as the Boojum Cactus Forest. The Boojum trees are kind of unusual. They're classified as cactus, I guess. They're tall, spiny things with weird roots sticking out the side of them, and the racers always look forward to this part of the course. There isn't a whole lot else out here to look forward to, though, folks. You can see from the terrain. Well, we've talked a lot about the vehicles in the top 10 overall. Here's the guy that's leading the race right now. This is Larry Ragland in his Chevrolet, and what a great ride he's giving us right now with his Chevrolet in-car camera. Earlier in the day, he talked to Spencer Lowe about what it would take for him to do well in this race, but Larry was in such a hurry, he couldn't even take his helmet off to be interviewed.
No, we're going to have a long race today. Sorry I can't get this helmet off, but I got my ears taped with the earplugs in it. I can't get it off.
That's all right.
It'll be a long day. Hopefully we can run conservatively enough to make it down there. Object here is just to make it, and once we make it, then we'll sort it all out and see who was the fastest. It's just getting there. That's the problem.
Well, take a look at this now, folks. Let me ask you, does this look like a conservative driver? Oh, over the jump. Larry Ragland on his way to La Paz at a record pace out in front of everyone. This guy only knows one speed, and that's full speed ahead. And in this race, for once, he has nothing to lose. He hasn't run any other of the races in the points championship out here. This is the only race he's got to run. This is the race he's got to win. Now, his Chevrolet pickup has a phenomenal record since he joined this team 2 years ago. At one point, he had a winning streak of 6 races, 4 of them overall. He easily won his class championship last year. Now, here is one of the most beautiful spots on this course. This is the Bay of Los Angeles, and Larry Ragland is rapidly approaching this area. Gives us a chance to look at our leaderboard so far. Ragland out in front of the clock ahead of Robbie Gordon, Paul and Dave Simon, Rob McCachran, and Brian Stewart. Well, now, wait a minute. We just saw Ragland running. Now he's parked. He's off the road. He's had a problem. This side of the truck looks clean, but the other side of the truck looked like Well, let's see. Let's talk to these guys.
We led it long enough. We figured we let the bad guys lead it for a while now.
What happened here?
Lost the tire. Shot broke.
Came apart on the asphalt.
No spare?
No spares. They didn't have no spares for us at the last pit.
Did we outrun our chase truck?
Yeah, they weren't there.
We outrun our chase truck. Sarah, so we didn't have any spares.
Can you jack it up here?
Yeah, I can do that, but just ain't got no.
We don't have a tire.
Well, tough break for Larry Ragland, his co-driver Ivan Scopatone. All they need is a spare tire, and they don't have one. They've outrun their chase crews, and that's a critical problem here. They're just a couple of miles from this pit here in Bay of LA, but there's a mountain between where they are and where the pit is, and their radio will not transmit over that mountain. Bob Gordon into the pits now. He's co-driving in this race with Frank Arciero Jr. in the Shiloh Inns buggy. Bob Gordon won this race overall a couple of times with his son Robbie Gordon, but right now they're down in the order a little ways. They had quite a bit of downtime early on. Will Larry Ragland ever get to this pit? We'll see when we come back for more of Baja right after this.